Are you praying? That ain't gonna help. And you better clean this place up or you're really gonna get it.
Where the hell do you think you're going?
I want out. I can't take it anymore.
You leave now? With him right now? You're gonna ruin him just like the others. She'll be back.
She can't make it on her own. Make it on her own. Make it on her own.
Santa Clarita, like every other great city, provides opportunity and community to all who call it home. And in that grand American tradition, Santa Clarita also provides sanctuary to those who are victims of the unbearable intimidation of domestic violence.
The DVC's role for the city of Santa Clarita is extremely important, and it's getting larger every day. Domestic violence is a community issue, not a women's issue, and the community has to be involved in order for us to really make the impact we need within the community in eradicating domestic violence.
And this agency has been here for 30 years. It was a grassroots organization, started with volunteers, and a lot of professionals in this town that gave their expertise and help in the beginning years, and then over the years have continued to do that behind the scenes.
I feel very strongly about it, and it was brought home to me in a very dramatic fashion when the board visited a center in Pasadena. And one of the things I recall clearly was the front door was steel plated and had many dents and dings in it from where people would batter the door trying to gain access.
Community awareness for the Santa Clarita Valley Domestic Violence Center is very important. People need to be aware, even if they are not victims of domestic violence, they may know somebody that is in need of those services and be able to refer them and help a family that is in great need.
There's a staggering number of situations that exist in society where we have various degrees of domestic violence. And it's important that all of us, at minimum, understand that it exists and it's real, and that collectively we need to come together and do everything we can to deal with that problem.
In fact, domestic violence instances seem to be on the rise. National studies show that over 15 million children witness some form of domestic violence yearly. But if there is a ray of hope, it is the awareness of this issue has also increased. Linda Davies, Executive Director of the Domestic Violence Center, heads a staff of highly qualified individuals who have helped increase this awareness in our community.
But we still are seeing so many women that you want to be able to offer programs that are going to make that difference for them. So we are offering in more programs, like a meditation program that a volunteer is doing. The Windows is a art expression program that was developed specifically for women who are in shelter, who it's the window between your past and your present. I have a new shelter director, Melissa Dugas, who has done a very nice job in networking us very positively with the whole network of shelters in the California area. We have really made an impact as far as where we can safety transfer our women from Santa Clarita to keep them in safety, and also to be able to bring women into us, into Santa Clarita, and allow them to be safe as well.
So if you are somebody who's looking for a shelter, or if you know somebody who's looking for a shelter, the first thing that you're going to do is call either a 1-800 number or a help number. Once they get into the shelter, they will get a tour, they'll meet all the staff, they'll be assigned a room. We provide them with welcome packets, so they'll get basic human needs, shampoo, conditioner, soap, they'll get pajamas, they'll get blankets. We have tons of classes. We have everything from parenting to life skills to domestic violence education. All these classes are built around setting mom and the kids up for success.
A lot of our clients, when they walk in, they don't have an idea what resources is available, especially when it comes to legal resources. So we walk them through that process. For example, we walk them through a restraining order.
It's what, today is July 29th. We've actually done an intake on 22 women just in July alone. Our job is to really try to educate people through intervention, prevention, and education so that someday maybe we could eradicate it. Maybe it would lessen, and it would be a good thing maybe if we said to you one day that we only had 10 clients this month instead of 20 clients this month, and that we didn't have as many bed nights at the shelter. But currently there is a need, and we are providing that need, and Santa Clarita has really done a great job over the past 30 years in supporting us to keep us going.
This past June, in a very strategic move, DVC joined 3 other related agencies and moved their offices into the newly opened Savia Building.
One of the benefits we've seen lately is with Savia, and that is the creation of a facility whereby we have local-like organizations all under the same roof, sharing resources, sharing facilities, sharing space.
Before this, we were at a very small facility, and it was impossible for us to have our children on site with us, so they were at another building very close by, but it gives them a great feeling to be in the same building with their moms. We are very blessed that Savia has provided this fabulous space for us.
In July 2013, DVC graduated 11 additional counselor advocates who are now trained to assist those who come forward for help.
And since we started it last September, we have actually, at this moment in time, trained 55 domestic violence advocates to work with us in our program, but also to work throughout the LA County.
DVC also organizes fundraising and special events designed to increase awareness of its services to the community.
And our newest and most favorite now is the Fairy Berry Breakfast that we just had this past spring. And it was a lot of fun to see the little kids come and get involved in that. Linda was great. She had a little pouch with fairy dust.
And families involved in an event where they make fairy houses. And the fairy houses then will be auctioned off to raise money for the shelter.
This is clever, cute, funny, and it is a totally delightful fundraiser.
We are now what's called our own domestic violence advocate court program, that people can come into us and get their temporary restraining orders done right in our office here with a court advocate, and then they can go the next day and see the judge and get their restraining order. The other piece that we've done this year more than ever before was we have 4 therapists on staff here. I guess probably there's about 100 women right now that are actively in therapy with these therapists. So this has been an amazing thing that we've been able to do, because a lot of these women come to us with no health insurance and no money, and yet therapy is something that they need very much.
My favorite stories that I hear involve women who've left and come to the DVC with their children, and hearing the impact that the program has not only on the women we're helping, but their children as well. Hearing how well the children do in school, how they're able to stay in school, and oftentimes how women are able to get out on their own, find employment, and survive by themselves. One of the best satisfaction is that our clients can then contribute to the community themselves and come back and be one of those advocates and help on the other side.
With all these varied programs available, the true measure of the Domestic Violence Center is seen in the results, not in the process. One such victory involves a mother and son who came to the program in the spring of 2012.
So basically, I had already got to that point where it's like, you know what, I deserve more, I deserve better, I don't deserve to be in this situation. I was tired of getting guns to my head. I was tired of guns going off. I was tired of getting bit in my arm. I was tired of getting choked. I was tired of just being yelled at and, being accused of things that I wasn't doing. I was tired of just being mistreated. I was tired of being socked and kicked and just treated like an animal. I was just tired of it all. I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I thought I was gonna go crazy. I felt like my world has come to this. I'm 34 years old, and here I am living the same lifestyle of emptiness and destruction, and I was just killing myself slowly, and I couldn't take it anymore. Sure enough, 4 days later, on February 26, 2012, it happened again. It happened again, and that's when I already had my bag ready. I had, a bag of clothes ready, which I wasn't able to grab, but I grabbed my bag of paperwork. I grabbed my son and I grabbed my dog. And so when we ran, we left, and here he comes running behind me. And the first thing I said, I don't want to go back over there. Like, I seen the street and I thought, oh my goodness, he's gonna take me back to that house and I'm really gonna get it. And then he didn't. Instead, he looks at me and he tells me, he grabs me by my arms and he says, you know what? You're taking that boy and you're gonna ruin him. You're gonna ruin him. If you leave me, you're gonna ruin him. And that was so not true. Domestic Violence Center of Santa Clarita taught me how to be a mom to my son. They taught me how to spend quality time with my son, to actually sit down and actually do things with him, how to draw, how to relate to him. And when I got to this safe haven and I met Linda Davies, she made me feel so at home. And when I found out she was the director and she was just spending so much quality time with us, playing Monopoly, and my son loves her. My son loves her.
And at that time, we had this really amazing client called Fabby. Well, in the beginning, she wasn't an amazing client because she had her issues. She had a lot of anger issues. She was sort of struggling with addiction. Not that she was using at the time when she was with us, but it was clear as you spoke with her that every time she went back into her the abusing relationship or into a relationship that was unhealthy for her and for her children, there was always drugs that were associated with that.
I was able to open up to her and share with her of all these things that I had blocked off and that she told me it was normal. And there was also a lot of lies within me that I had not shared with her, like that I was a drug addict and that I had an alcohol problem and that I needed to admit in order for me to move forward. And finally, when I did admit and I told her, I said I needed help with that as well, because I wanted to take care of this inner core within me. I didn't just want to leave my ex-husband. There was many more issues within me that I needed to take care of so that this path and this journey could be a success, and it needed to start within me. And so she quickly gave me resources. She actually had an outpatient program where, the services were paid for.
And so we reached out at that time to Action, actually, that helped us very much by getting her into a group. And the group was a tough group for her to be in, but she made it there 2 times a week. And when she went to go to transitional housing, she really looked at the fact that she knew then she needed a drug or alcohol program to be able to really manage that part of her life, that she was going to make it with that part. But her spunk, her drive, her commitment to life in itself, and her beginning to believe that she was worth it really showed itself during that month that I was there.
And when I got to the Domestic Violence Center, that's when it was just a God-given. I just knew I knew it was proven. It was proven because they gave me the hope, the ability, the tools, the skills for me to be able to not repeat the same cycle again. They gave me the hope that I can be somebody, that I don't need to go back to that relationship or any relationship. They gave me the inspiration that I could do this, I can do this, and that I will succeed.
Fabiola is currently volunteering at a crisis pregnancy clinic, and next year will complete her college degree in human services with an emphasis in mental health and substance abuse. She wants to be a helping hand to those who need to be pulled out of their own unfortunate circumstances and given a chance to succeed.
Domestic violence is something that impacts everyone in our community, and even if you're not a victim of domestic violence, you may know someone that is. You may have a child in your life that is a friend of your child. You may not know that they are going through something really terrible. So your support of helping the Domestic Violence Center locally helps our entire community, and I would encourage you to get involved, to donate, to do whatever you can to support this very worthwhile organization.
But I'd love to be able to say that if it happens to you, you have a choice, that it doesn't have to continue, and that your next relationship doesn't have to be like that, but that you've got to do the work to get there. And so what does that mean? It means more case management money. It means people in our office that can really take the time to say, hey, if you had an education, this is where you're going to go. If you had a skill set that really brought in some money to support your family, if your child had a significant person or a significant social structure in their lives that they're missing, that's going to make the difference for you. We got to get to know you. We don't, with the amount of people we see and the amount of staff we have, we don't get to know them enough sometimes to help them with that next step. But as far as sitting down one-on-one and having somebody lay out what would be the best steps for them, that's where we're working towards. And that's going to take a little bit more money for us to do.
Because of you, I was able to come to be where I am today. And I couldn't have done it without you. I am so thankful and grateful for the opportunity to sit here and tell my story, because if anything, I just want to share to the ladies or let the ladies know that they don't need to be in this situation ever. They don't need to be mistreated. They don't deserve that.